Now, how many of you have had your mother come into your room and say, get off those video games, stop playing so much, do something more productive with your life? Video games are such a waste. I think we've almost all experienced that at some time. But I'm here to tell you today that video games can be a positive influence on your life, despite many common myths about video games. I myself play video games, and I've done research about both possible negative effects of playing them as well as positive, and I'm here to shed the truth about those today. So I hope to encourage you to play more video games, or to continue to play video games if you don't already, because of many benefits that can be gained through playing them. It is important that people should play video games because of the various health benefits, and it's something that people of all ages can enjoy, not just a certain age group. So first, I'll discuss some common myths on why people think video games are bad for you. According to RaisSmartKid.com, video games can hinder children both physically and mentally in their development. However, according to a professor from MIT, this can also relate to the one false stereotype that video games are the cause for violence, especially among youth today. Well, while in fact, the same professor did research and found that the federal crime statistics show that the crime rate has been down over the past 30 years, and there's actually less juvenile violent crimes occurring. So this shows that the focus that adults place on video games as being the reason for why children are acting violently is in fact a misdirected notion, and our efforts should be focused on finding other reasons why the youth may be violent today. Another claim people have about playing video games is that they help reduce social interaction among people, where in fact 60% of people who play video games play them with other people or are actively interacting with them. For example, League of Legends is one of the most popular computer games right now, and the game mode is 5 versus 5, so you're constantly interacting with 4 other people, at least at a time, all to achieve a common goal. The game even has a certain mode that can give you extra rewards for being a good team player, and that's based off of interactions that happen in the game. So now that we know some of the myths about why video games are bad for us, I'll tell you a little bit about the positive benefits that we can derive from those. In reality, video games can both help us physically and mentally. Video games help the brain to think in many different ways, and can help our creative and both our analytical thinking. When people play video games, they're forced to use to problem solve and creatively think in short bursts. This is according to an article about positive thinking. These include games that involve urban planning, resource management, as well as other things that you need to practice business skills or logistics in. Studies have also shown that children with dyslexia who play video games have been able to read better and more accurately. This is according to an article entitled Current Biology. And lastly, video games can be good for you physically as well as mentally. One of the most commonly known games is Wii Fit or Wii Sports. This can help people track their fitness progress and just help them benefit themselves in a healthful way, and dismisses the notion that all people who play video games are unhealthy people who fail to exercise. So, if you aren't completely convinced that these benefits are worth it, it's important to think that how video games also just impact us in a different scale, and this would be economically. According to the Entertainment Software Association, the video game industry had a GDP of over $5 billion in 2009, and video games are a very large portion of our entertainment industry today. Currently, the video game the market directly employs over 120,000 people who make an average salary of around $90,000, which shows how much value we place on video games in the industry and that it's not just something that should be looked at as unimportant, that we're giving important high-paid jobs to skilled people. They aren't just making minimum wage, such as other jobs that people don't see as important. In 2012, an average of 6 computer games were sold every second of every day. So that statistic alone shows the importance that people place on video games and the importance they have for all health or physical benefits aside, just on the economic growth of the U.S. Lastly, video games can bring much entertainment to people who couldn't normally afford it. Some video game systems and consoles can be expensive, but however, many people nowadays own a computer just for work needed to be done either at school or through their jobs. And having internet access, many people can access free online games, and that they're very accessible. Here is an image just showing how this is a team, a League of Legends team that was made famous for how good they are at playing video games. A few months ago were the League of Legends Championships. This team made $1 million for winning that championship, just showing how important this game has become to our economy, and that people can now make a real living playing video games even. So now we can see all these crucial elements for why video games are a positive influence for us. So again, we should all start to play video games if we don't already, because of many health benefits that can be derived from them, both physically, mentally, as well as now that we know that there are many myths about video games, such as they induce violence and laziness or social awkwardness, that they just aren't true. So next time you have a free moment, instead of just spending it, doing nothing or aimlessly, wandering around, pick up a video game for a little bit and help yourself both physically and mentally. Thank you.